Alright, hello, and welcome to the 2018 MavWar tournament. My name is Blake, and I'm here casting with Hollywood, if you would like to say hello.
Hi there.
Alright, so our two teams today are Optimus Prime and Pinkies, I believe? Correct me if I'm wrong on that?
Optimistic Prime, I see it written.
Optimistic Prime, okay, I'm completely going off the tags I see right now. Alright, and so on our two teams, on Optimistic Prime, we have Beast, Kimchi, Chi, and I believe that's Renraka. And then on Pinkies, we have Impressive, Reflector, Rice, and Simba. And we are going live with our first hit with Pinkies on Survivor. It's going to be a Hunter, Jockey, Spitter. So we do have our Hunters going in. Hunter does get heated, Jockey lands on Coach, Spit goes down but misses. And then a Hunter lands on Ellis, so not very much damage. Pretty good take by the Survivors.
Yeah, they took that first hit fairly well, and we have our first tank up in the hands of Beast.
We want to run this over to a war room?
Yeah. Why not?
Where are we going?
Optimistic.
Okay.
Outside. Hold your shit.
No.
I'm gonna go in right now. Oh, don't go, bitch.
Damn, she's super loud compared to all the rest of you. I gotta fix
Dude, I'm
that for
coming in
this.
there with you. Are you
I'm
ready?
lagging
Are
as
you ready?
fuck.
Do you want me to spawn here? Is this where I'm spawning, please?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
I'll spawn right now. I'm ready.
I'm kidding.
I can't
I'm
spawn.
kidding.
They're looking at me. They're looking at me. I
No.
can't spawn.
No, I have a smoker.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Where's the boom?
That's okay. I'll pull for you. Like as soon as you commit, just try and
I
get.
fucking hate this game.
Just commit, and then I'll pull for you. Okay?
Dude,
Pull for you so you
she's
can
not
get the
gonna
guy.
pull for you.
Come in. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. I'm pull now. Get that bitch.
Let's help him though.
Help him. Help him. Let's go.
Nope. Nice.
You have a tri-code.
Nice.
Got
Hang
it.
on.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
Nice job, bro.
Team! You guys are the best. I love you. I still love this game. I was joking what I said
Watch
earlier.
Rochelle, by the way. She could be
I didn't mean it.
Rochelle could be cleared. And then if she does, I hope she fucking dookies on your tank. Fuck.
Who needs the boomer?
Yeah, fuck a boomer. What was I thinking?
Alright, and we are back. I was alt-tabbed for most of that tank, and then I look back and there's a tri-cap and a wipe went out. So, amazing tank by Optimistic Prime, clearly. What did you think of that, Hollywood?
Absolutely. They're definitely starting this match off with a bang. Like you, I also did alt-tab for a second to check something on my Discord, and as soon as I came back, it seemed they had a wipe all secured.
I mean, that was a very fast wipe by that tank. It seemed like the SI all landed very well. Tank got a quick corner, and I believe was Ellis when I checked back. So, great tank by, I want to say, Beast? Was that it?
Yes, Beast was a tank.
Okay, cool. So, looks like Pink Slip are going to have to really work to match that tank. Because while Parish 1 is not, like, the biggest map in the campaign, it definitely sets the tone for the match. And even if you're not up by that much winning the first map, it really sets a mojo and pace, and it gives you, the motivation to keep doing better. So, again, with the first hit, we do have a Hunter, Spitter, Hunter, Jockey, if you want to take it away.
Absolutely. We've got 100 pre-spawn. Impressive goes in on Coach, lands on the Coach, spits on Coach. Jockey gets on Rochelle, gets cleared, but she is stumbled. Looks like she was in that spit for half a second. Overall, a bit more damage than what Optimistic Prime was able to do when they were infected. But we now have a tank up in the hands of... Gotta check this. I believe that's Trice.
Yes.
Alright, and are we gonna kick this off to a Pink Slip War Room?
Yeah, go for it. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Nice.
Oh boy.
You should push. Push now.
Alright.
Going in.
Oh, you're dead. I got she. I don't have.
It's not over yet.
Ah. Go, go, go. Cover, 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 cover. I got my smoke.
And we are back. That tank did not look like it was going to do anything, and then he landed a Tricar. And it looks like we do have a wipe coming off from that, unless that smoker gets cleared.
Absolutely, the pistol's fairly inaccurate. I don't believe he's going to be able to shoot that tongue.
Looks like Kim does die before she can get the clear, so that's a wipe. Looks like Pink Slip will be on Infected first for the second map because Optimistic Prime did get a little bit farther than them, but impressive tank by Trice.
Yeah, absolutely. Optimistic, I think they made the right call pushing out into that tank. As soon as he punched that car, it was in a bit of an unfortunate area. They were able to hide behind those little, like, not necessarily telephone poles, but like those bits that hold up the balconies above them. It's really hard to work any kind of tank or smoker poles in there. But unfortunately, that charger came in and landed a multi-charge, and then the tank was able to land a multi-car by, slapping it into them as they went flying, and that was incredible.
Like you said, I mean, it was a good idea to push out when that tank hit that car. I think they thought the tank hit the car out, but I'm not sure who that charger was, but it absolutely just saved that tank. So we do have our first hit on the second map. Looks like it's going to be a smoker, charger, spitter, something else. I don't have my spec up yet. Jockey.
Yeah, it looks like the charger's looking to spawn behind this van, and we've got a spitter looking to spawn on top. The charger and the jockey go in. Jockey gets M2'd, the charger whiffs. Spit goes into the safe room, but it's not going to create any puddle outside the safe room. Smoker gets a brief pull onto Ellis, but overall, that's a first hit taken extremely well. Hardly any damage going out.
SI did not land anything on that hit, and they just took, let's see if I can do some really quick math, 7 damage in friendly fire, so be a little bit careful about friendly fire, Optimistic Prime. But yeah, great shutdown by them. I think the SI got a little hasty on that hit, and they went for something they probably shouldn't have. But we do have our next hit coming up. It's going to be a 2-2 with a Smoker Jockey. Smoker is going to go out on Ellis, get quickly cleared. Jockey has now spawned up, and Jockey just takes a lot of damage and jumps out. So I think they're just going to try to despawn that Jockey and Smoker and try again.
Yeah, this Boomer's looking for a spawn behind this tree. Oh, he does spawn in, but gets popped, doesn't land anything. I think Team Pinkies is a little antsy because of those early tank wipes. I think they need to calm things down a little bit because Optimistic are making a lot of distance on this map with hardly any damage.
Yeah, it seems like Pink Slip is just not really coordinating their hits right now. Their SI are going in 1 and 2 at a time. Looks like they are going to be going for a hit here, though. We have Jockey and Smoker spawned at the front. They do have a Charger now instead of that Boomer. Jockey is going to go out for just a second on Ellis. Charger will go in and miss. Spit goes down. Smoke misses, and Ellis is able to jump up on the trash bags and gets insta-pulled. But again, really nice shutdown by Optimistic Prime.
Yeah, staggered spawns a little bit. Pinkies is not looking too organized. Also, I think the Charger may have failed to realize that these trash bags here do in fact have a collision box. He got caught right there, right before he was able to hit Ellis. Regardless of that, Optimistics are gradually clearing their way through this bit of horde. Looks like we've got a 2-2 Boomer Jockey Spitter Hunter. I believe Pinkies is looking to get some sort of hit right beyond this trailer. I don't believe they're going to hit before they start this event. That would not be my call.
I think they are hitting in the trailer when the tank's coming
up. Oh dear!
You get a Spit Hunt on Nick inside. That's a lot of damage on Nick. We do have our next tank up in the hands of Simba. I'm kind of curious how Optimistic Prime is going to play this tank, so shall we head over to a Survivor War Room?
Absolutely, let's do it.
We got 2 up.
Need the Muzi. think you can shoot over that. Oh, just fucking shitty.
Can you see through that?
Yeah, you can shoot him through that.
Can't see anything. It's fucking.
Can still shoot him. He's getting dumpster?
Might
Oh,
try.
he's
Let him.
not. He's not.
Do you have 3 Uzis or no? Alright, I'm taking Uzi.
2, he's in.
Ta-ta! Watch my boomer.
He's gonna come.
Stay there at that tree, Kim. Let's cover that boom.
He's in.
He's in, he's in. Back out so the smoker don't pull you. Go back out.
Oh, I got pulled. I tried to cross over. It's clear. Oh, he caught me.
Jockey. Only have the smoker up.
Fuck.
Pull? Like,
Got a lot of
is the
horde
pull?
on me.
Oh my god, don't run in there.
I didn't run in there, I got punched in here, you nerd. You didn't see me fly?
Give him pills, guy. Pills.
He's dead. Give me those
dead.
quick. Good job. I'll take the damage for that.
And we are back after that tank from somebody. I forgot who it was.
I believe it was Simba.
Yeah, Simba. Thank you. That got 2 people's perm health all the way down. Got a few decent punches, but Beast really saved that tank with that tongue cut. Had he gotten separated by that pull, I think that could have gone a lot worse. So great job by Beast. What did you think of that tank?
Yeah, that tank did a lot of damage in a pretty difficult area. This big park area, it's kind of hard to do anything. Most people, default to the tank rock strategy where they just sit back and throw tanks and hope that their SI can do some damage. Regardless, we've got a big spit charge going out onto Nick. A jockey gets shut down in the back, but Nick is on his last legs. He's going to have to take those pills. Yeah, as I was saying, that's a difficult area for a tank to make anything happen, but they did take away, as you said, 2 survivors perm health. Kim and I can't read this name here. Coach are the only ones with perm health right now. Regardless, they're making this event fair. They're making their way through this event fairly quickly.
They are. A boomer pop does go out. Looks like we have 2 hunters going in. Hunter gets skeeted. Another hunter lands, and that just leaves a smoker. So that was kind of a rushed hit. I don't think they needed to go that quickly, but they will have probably 1 or 2 more hits. That charge spit on Chi in the alley was really nice. That took away all of her perm health, and that does put her in damage bonus radius. So they really need to start working on that damage bonus a little bit more to get this bonus down. Because right now it is at 451, and that's not a bad bonus for this map. We do have our next hit coming up, though. That is a Charger, Spitter, Jockey, Hunter. Looks like we do have everything spawned up. Pull is going to go out on Rochelle. Charger's going to cover that, misses. Jockey takes Rochelle. I don't agree with that, but that's going to get a lot of damage anyway.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication on Pinkies, but I mean, it's sort of worked out. They've got Kim down in a pretty, right behind where they were going. His team's going to have to come back for him. The smoker interrupts Nick's get up animation, but they're covering her, and looks like they will be able to get Kim up. They're down to 1 survivor with perm health.
That's a hefty amount on the bonus, too. That dropped it from 450 to 275. And we do have a nice boomer pop going out, and that's going to leave a Charger and Spitter up. And I don't know if I agree with that boomer going in, because I think that leaves them with 1 more hit now. But we do have the Charger spawning up with the Spitter on the Witch. Crown does grow out. Charger misses. Spit goes out. Jockey is on Ellis and does manage to land. That's probably a down.
Yep, they're separated by Spit. Looks like they're going to get Ellis down behind these buses. That should provide a few bits for the Pinkies, more spots to spawn. We've got a Hunter jumping around, but is taking a lot of damage. The Jockey is still up. Might look for a despawn.
Jockey might want to troll this pickup. There's a lot of Horde still out. We do have a Smoker and Boomer coming out. Smoker will go out on Nick and just get the pull for just a second. Hunter is going to go in on land on Rochelle. Nice 2-boom goes out. Coach gets Jockey. That was an amazing cover by the Jockey. This is probably going to be a kill. Yeah, it was a kill.
Yeah, that Jockey is taking Coach all the way back, and Nick is stuck with this giant Horde. Looks like he's going to try and get Kim up first.
does manage to get her up. That does leave a Smoker and Hunter coming in, and a Jockey as well. Pull is going to go out on Coach. Rochelle is so hard and gets hunted, and that is a wipe. What a comeback from Pink Slip.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of crazy plays going on. The Infected, they're playing it really fast and loose, both teams as Infected. We're seeing, a lot of damage, a lot of wipes where, like, traditionally you wouldn't really think of them happening. The first map of Parish, that early tank, that tank usually doesn't wipe, like, ever in my experience.
It's probably one of the harder tanks on Parish, and the thing is, it does require a decent amount of coordinated SI, and wow, Pink Slip didn't really have that on their SI side. They did have that amazing charger. Yeah, like you said, like that was kind of a weird spot to wipe on map 2 as well, just after the event. Usually see teams wipe during the event, and I'm kind of surprised they wiped there too, because, with Kim, Chi, and Beast, those are 3 pretty old players who've been playing this game for a long time. So I think they should know better than to brush that crown, get jockeyed out, get separated like they did, but I'm going to chalk it up to them just warming up, and hopefully they start playing a little bit better.
Yeah, we've seen, a big variety of, like, play styles and just sort of tempos in matches in general. The first match I commented with Rails was between, I believe, Thinking and Lethal Assault, and that match was fairly one-sided. I saw another match on Hard Rain where we saw like a big contrast between teams. I believe it was Lemon Party and I want to say, I'm looking at the list of teams here right now, Infected Minds. They were, they had a big contrast in their teams. Infected Minds was very, slow-paced and methodical. And I just realized Warriors of Heaven was the other team. Warriors of Heaven was like very, very fast and aggro style play. But here we see, I think both teams are like super aggro, making for a really interesting match.
Oh, definitely. And I think that just comes with whoever the mentor is on the team, because a lot of the mentors in this team, and I believe in this match it's Trice and Kimchi are the mentors? I know it's Trice. It's one of the Chis, but having known them for a long time, they are aggressive players as well. And so it's really interesting to see how callers decide to play and what they direct their team to do. And as we've seen, with how aggressive Optimistic Prime played on that map, they did not take very many hits during that event. I think they took 2. And a slower playing team could easily take up to 4, especially if it doesn't get cleared quickly.
Yeah, I think like you said, the first map of the Parish is not worth that many points per se, but it does sort of set the tone for the match. And I think both these teams got wipes with their tanks, or very nearly got wipes with both their tanks. And I think that is sort of setting the tone. Both of these teams really want to play this fast, and in contrast, the Infected are focused on getting those really last-minute plays as Infected.
Definitely. And we do have our first hit up right now. Again, it is a Spitter Charger Jockey Smoker. It looks like Optimistic Prime is being a little bit more patient than Pink Slip were, which I think is the better play, because this hit has the ability to do a lot of damage, but not if you go in on the safe room. Looks like we do have the Charger set up above the safe room, which I like that spot a lot. And he is going in. Smoker will go out on Ellis. Charger will just get mowed down. Smoke will go down on Ellis, and Jockey will go on Ellis back into Spit. That was a decent amount of damage for the Charger not landing.
Yeah, Optimistic did a bit of damage onto Ellis. They definitely were more patient. They actually allowed the survivors to, exit the safe room, which I think was a smart play. Pink Slip got a little impatient. As soon as one survivor stepped out the door, they all rushed right into that safe room and got shut down fairly easily.
Definitely. And great job on Pink Slip for focusing down that Charger, because if you let a Charge Spit land, that's an easy 40 damage. But we do have our next hit coming up. Boomer does go for an arc, will miss. Charger is going to go and just whiffs. Smoker has now spawned up just with a Jockey left. It looks like that Smoker trying to get a pull back. He's not going to get it. I think he's just going to despawn.
Yeah, that means that Pink Slip is going to be able to pass through this little hallway with no charge spit to deal with, that hit can be pretty devastating. Like you said, if it lands, that's easily 40 damage, and in an enclosed space like that, that would be 40 damage on maybe several people. Regardless, they are going to move towards this Cedar trailer. The Optimistic have a Jockey Spitter Smoker Boomer up. We're going to see how they decide to use these infected. Are they going to wait for the tank?
It looks like they are, and I think that's the better play right now. I'm not sure if they realize, yep, okay, they realize that everybody has to be in the trailer to open the door. Do they have to start the event?
That's
okay,
interesting.
They didn't. We do have a hit going in. Nice jockey is going to land on Coach with that boom, too. Smoker is going to go out on Ellis and get a little bit of damage. Reflector was separated, but nobody capitalized on that. And we do have a tank up in the hands of Chi herself. So let's run this on over to a Pink Slip Survivor War Room.
All right, let's do it.
Smoker's got me. Reloading.
Back here.
Awesome. There's a fence here because we open up the other door.
Wow. Go the other side. Come here, come here, come here. This space place always works. Come here.
Should we try to get some chip?
Yeah. Shotgun stay behind. Block this one.
Tank inbound. Everyone shoot the tank.
Wow.
Charger. Shoot the tank. We got a charger. I cannot leave. Kill the tank. Shoot it.
Dead.
Shoot it.
That's super dumb.
And we are back after that Chi tank. I remembered this time. I don't know what Pink Slip was thinking taking that tank there. I think that's an awful spot, but it worked out for them. And I'm kind of surprised. What did you think of that, Hollywood?
Well, the tank wasn't able to fully remove any of the survivors' perm health. They've all got a bit, so you know, from a numbers perspective, it's debatable, whether that was a good play. But I honestly kind of agree with you. I think that's a really question. Oh my goodness, we've got a hunt spit going down onto Ellis. Jockey momentarily getting onto Nick.
Coach
Luckily, they cleared that hunter fairly fast. That looked like a ton of damage going, but Pink Slip looks like they've evaded most of it. Smoker still holding up Ellis for a bit. Ellis is down to perm health. He's going to pop his pills. As I was saying earlier, that's in my view, a questionable place to take the tank. There are a lot of, it's slightly an enclosed space. There are actual corners where the tank can get you, unlike the park where there's almost nowhere to corner a survivor. And there are some spots around the enclosed walls where the infected can spawn.
We do have that charge just going in with a nice boom land. Hunt lands on Rochelle, and a free spit goes out. It's a little bit of damage on Coach. What is this charge doing?
He looks a little bit confused.
Oh, okay. I think she is going for this despawn. Okay. Yes, this makes more sense. They are going to get the alarm for free, though. And then we do have that witch coming up where Optimistic Prime did wipe. So I'd be a little bit afraid of that witch.
Yeah, Pink Slip wasn't, when they were playing as infected, they weren't able to make anything happen with that witch. We did have that charger spawn right in front of her, trying to, I think, interrupt Ellis just before he got the crown, but Optimistic was able to crown her beforehand. If Pink Slip can make something happen with that witch, that would be huge. Regardless, we do have a jockey landing momentarily onto Nick. A little bit in spit, and Ellis is going to go for this crown, I think, while all the infected are down. He gets the draw crown. So already Pink Slip is doing much better. Looks like they're going to get through this bus area before Optimistic have any hits ready.
I don't agree with sending that hit that early. I think that was an easy witch to hit on, and that's going to leave them with 93% damage bonus and 425 bonus. Boomer is going to get popped. We do have a hit going in. Charger does land on Ellis. Pull goes out on Rochelle. Nice cover by that jockey on Nick. That's not going to do too much damage, but it's something.
Yeah, Pink Slip have very little perm health to speak of, but they did make it to the safe room, didn't wipe. And I agree with you earlier, that hit just before the witch, I think that was wasted potential. They had a jockey, and I believe a charger, both of which could have been used to try and help that witch, because she was in a pretty good spot. She was right in that opening from the building into the buses, and that's kind of a hard spot to cover as survivors, because the infected can spawn right around the corner and then come in behind the witch and try and help her, land on the survivor when they try to go for that draw crown.
Absolutely, and there was still event horde coming in when the doors open. Like, there's at least one more horde after the doors open. So the survivors are not going to be able to cover that very well while somebody's trying to crown the witch, clear SI, and kill horde. So it's kind of becoming a thing where both teams seem to not be patient enough with their SI, and I think that's reflecting in how they're playing right now. But regardless, Pink Slip is up 990 to 605. So a 385 point lead? 285? I can't do math. Something like that. That's not the worst thing in the world, especially coming to map 3 of Parish, because map 3 and map 4 are not exactly maps known to make safe room on and make bonus on. So this is going to set the tone, and I think Optimistic Prime really has to play out of their minds on Survivor right now.
Yeah, Pink Slip so far, they've got a nice amount of lead, and like you said before, these maps are, they're long and they've got some difficult hits to survive as survivors, which means that, if Pink Slip, hopefully, if you're optimistic, maybe they're going to play things a little too aggro, they're going to get a little too greedy and try to go through this map a little faster than they're ready to, and then maybe Optimistic can punish them. But if I were Pink Slip, I would try and hold on to this lead as hard as you can. Maybe slow things down a little bit, take things more carefully.
Definitely. We do have a Hunter going in, getting skeeted, and a Huntspit going out on Rochelle, not for very much damage. Again, they really weren't patient with that hit. And given that's a pretty terrible hit for coming out of the safe room on map 3 of Parish, but you can make something happen with that. So they are running 3 Uzis for this 27% tank. I did not realize it was this early. This is not an easy tank to fight, especially if he gets hittable and knows how to use his hittable. It looks like our infected are going to be hitting, actually, if you want to take it away.
Absolutely. We've got a Charger going in on Rochelle. Smoker pulls Ellis, gets picked up by the Charger. Overall, Pink Slip took that fairly well. Again, I think Optimistic is getting really impatient with these hits.
And Hunt did go out on Nick in the back for probably way longer than it should have gone out. But, looks like our survivors are going to play this kind of forward. They're going to push the tank a little bit. Let's run this over to a Pink Slip war room. I'm curious what they're doing.
Absolutely. We have the tank up in the hands of Kim.
He's in.
He's in.
Alright, thanks a lot.
Charged to the corner.
Hey, get your ass up now. Come on.
Name.
Thanks, killer.
I had to say that.
Reloading.
And we're back. That was a really strange tank fight. Pink Slip opting to push Kim in this area. There is a hittable here. That's a really strange call to make. The tank was able to bring 2 survivors down to temp health. So, I don't know, Blake. What do you think about that, how that tank fight went? Do you think they should have taken it back, or was that an acceptable amount of damage?
I think that was an interesting call. We do have a hit going, and I think this Charger just missed. I need to record a demo. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like...
Yeah. That hit didn't really do any damage. Okay. Yeah, with that tank, I don't know. That was a very weird tank fight for me, because I had to alt-tab to move Kitty into the channel, and I come back, and the tank is just in. I'm not sure about that call of pushing tank in that early. I think I would have maybe rocked for a little bit, but I also don't think that they should have fought it there. It worked out. 2 downs is not the worst. they probably could have taken less downs, but we do have another hit going in. Boomer is going to go in, get a nice boom. Jockey's going to go out on Nick. Ellis is going to get pulled. Hunter does go on Rochelle. So pretty decent damage on Nick.
Yeah, Pink Slip, they're slipping a bit. I mean, regardless of the tank fight or not, whether they should have fought it in that area with the white van or, maybe taking it back a bit. Contrary to, my theorizing, looks like Pink Slip are opting to, press their advantage even further. They're trying to play really fast, and I suppose, just sort of ride their momentum. If it's working so far, I guess the reasoning is why stop doing it.
Exactly, and it just worked out because that sewer hit can be very dangerous, and everything except that boomer got shut down right now. But nope, Charger's going to land on Rochelle, and she's going to drop all the way down. But that is just 10 damage on one of the hardest hits on Parrish. So very well done by Pink Slip. That was a fantastic call to push it that hard.
Yeah, Pink Slip, they're playing things fast and loose, and it seems to be working out for them for the most part. Optimistic going to have to tighten up these hits. We do have a last-minute pull onto Rochelle, but it gets cleared immediately. Boomer gets popped beautifully, and we've got Nick up top on the ambulance blocking spawns, but we do have a Hunter trying to land onto him.
That was a very risky play by Simba. I wouldn't necessarily call it the best play, but it worked out. They were able to, get up the ladder pretty safely, and all he had to do was just juke that Hunter for a little bit, and he was able to do it. So they're mitigating a lot of damage right now. And it's because they're playing so aggressive, and it seems like Optimistic Prime just doesn't know how to deal with that. And they're kind of just throwing in hit after hit and not really thinking about it. So it's obviously a fast-paced game, but Optimistic Prime needs to get it together. We do have a Hunter going in, getting heated. Jockey is landing on Nick. It gets cleared quickly. Smoker goes in on Ellis. They're crowning the witch. My god, I can't even keep up.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Optimistics, they're a little flustered, and Pink Slip is clearly moving faster than they can prepare themselves. The witch was at a bit of an intersection here in the cemetery. Either way that they were going to try to get to the safe room, they would have had to deal with this witch. It was a decent spot to make some sort of play with the witch, and Optimistic instead, they threw their hit early, and they really got nothing for it. Pink Slip has made it to the safe room with 2 survivors with perm health. That's a pretty nice bonus.
Yeah, they are going to walk in with 480 bonus, and Simba only took damage on 1 hit when they came out of the house with that jockey. Reflector didn't take any. So they walked in with a pretty sizable damage bonus as well as health bonus. Depending how this tank fight goes, I think Optimistic Prime can easily match that, because that's not like a gigantic bonus on map 3. It's pretty good, but it's easily matchable if they can kind of, slow down, just take a breath, and think about what they're doing. And I don't know if they can do that with how they're playing.
Yeah, now it's Optimistic's turn to see if they can make up some of this, lessen this lead a bit. And I think you're right. It's all gonna come down to that tank fight. If they can take it with less damage, regardless, they take this first hit. 1 Hunter momentarily lands onto Rochelle, but it gets shut down. I mean, 2 Hunters, a jockey, and a spitter. That's a pretty hard. Those are pretty difficult spawns to make anything work in this first bit of Parrish.
Yeah, it definitely is. And both teams, I kind of think, got similar damage. Optimistic Prime is taking this pretty quickly. And they are going to have a 3-1 with the Charger Jockey Hunter Spitter. This is not a bad hit. Looks like they are going in too. Hunter is going to land on Ellis. It's cleared quickly. Nick is going to get jockeyed. Charger stumbles Ellis instead of charging him because this game is just awful.
Yeah, those, I think, invincibility frames really screwed that Charger over. It looked like a decent play. I mean, if that Charger landed and the spit, that would have been a nice chunk onto Ellis. But Optimistic Prime, whether that was luck or skill is debatable. The tank is up in the hands of, let me see who this is. In the hands of Impressive. Are we going to take this over to a war room?
I think we are.
All right, let's do it.
Can you do a number crunch for me real quick?
Right next
Yeah,
to
we
white
have,
plan.
Thumbs up, let's do this.
33.33%. Repeating, of course, chance of wiping with this tank.
Cars by the boomer. It's right
Well,
here.
you know, hit. He's still first. Let's hit.
It's gonna go
I'm ready.
second. Hold up. A second.
He's committing. Yeah, it's committing. Use the boom if you see it. Like early.
Watch out. Reloading.
Ooh. Nice boom.
Right behind you.
He's clear behind. He's down. He's down.
Just kill him if you can.
Nice.
Too bad it wasn't a mini Cooper. Nice job.
Nah, fuck's
Okay.
sake.
Nice.
Cover this.
Good job, Tanky.
Yeah.
Thank
You have a
you.
lot of health. I mean the rage.
Great boom, man.
Thank you.
Stay out.
He's
That's
on a
fine.
mission. Bye.
And we're back after that tank got 2 kills. As we saw, that boomer landed an incredible tri-boom. We only have 2 survivors left. There's no way they're going to make it very far. We are probably going to have, yep, a 3-1 Smoker Hunter Jockey. I expect this to end pretty quickly. So what did you think of that tank?
Well, you know, it's really interesting. I think Hunter lands onto Nick, Smoker lands onto Coach, easy wipe, and I guess the Jockey's just going to steal that. But, you know, Optimistic was playing that. I think they were playing it the smart way. They took that tank back out into this open field, and then when the tank tried to get that car and started pushing, they took it back under the highway. You know, traditionally, that's sort of like, that's what most players would say is the smart call. But Pink Slip responded, you know, tremendously with that tri-boom. And even though that car was fighting Impressi like the whole time, I mean, it was just not cooperating with him at all. He was still able to work it in and kill 2 survivors. So it seems like Optimistic was trying to play things, you know, more carefully, more slowly, the way that you and I have been saying, you know, maybe they should. And then Pink Slip responded by saying, well, you know, if you're going to take your time and think about these plays, and you're just giving us more time to think about, you know, our hits. And Pink Slip managed to make their hits like even more effective.
I think they're kind of running away with it right now.
Yeah, I mean, a wipe that early on map 3, that's going to be extremely hard to, you know, even mitigate this lead, let alone turn things around. Pink Slip, I think, unless they make some disastrous, you know, misplay, I think they've got this all wrapped up.
At this point, it's very easy to say Optimistic Prime might be out of this, but we've seen crazier things happen. I'm thinking back to Router Pixies versus Druids all those years ago. It's happened. We do have a Witch up and a full hit up for it. Ellis is going to draw that Witch and get downed! Hunter is going to go in and land on Coach and get a spit. Boomer's going to go in, get a quad boom. My god, that was disastrous.
Yeah, speaking of disastrous misplays, looks like Pink Slip decided to answer. I don't even know what went on with that draw crown. I mean, Ellis, from what I was watching, I don't think he even shot at the Witch. He just, you know, he aggroed it and then just stood there while the Witch walked up and slashed him.
It looked like he did draw her, and she, because the Witch has fantastic passing, she got stuck on the car and took the longest swing I think I've ever seen Left 4 Dead 2 on him. So, again, this video game is fantastic, folks. Valve did a great job. We do have a hit going in. We have a Boomer stumbling Nick, a nice 2-boom going in. Something else died, and then that Smoker died, so pretty good shutdown after that Witch.
Yeah, a slight hiccup there. Ellis is down to, you know, all temp health, so no bonus for him, but Looks like Pink Slip are back in good form. Regardless of that, we do have the tank up, and looks like Pink Slip is going to take things back. We've already got Coach hopping up over the fence from the white van, and the pink. Excuse me. Are we going to take this to an optimistic war room?
I suppose we are. Let's go.
Unless you want me to keep this swimmer, I'll recharge it.
It's your choice if you think you get another.
Just keep it.
Alright. What's up? Impressives like look at me pretty hard, so I try.
You could probably get impressive arcing right here where my
You
start is.
should go the other route, because I feel like if you jump from this route,
You can
you're
arc
gonna get
impressive.
Yeah, I'll try arc.
Here.
They're all
there we
stuck
go.
to the floor. Help him.
Hold on,
Have
hold
him
on,
melee
hold on,
behind
hold on.
you.
I'm called too early.
They hit like 3 times with melee. That's cool.
Nice.
And we are back after that tank in the hands of Rimrocka, I believe?
Yes.
That did a decent amount of damage. That's going to put Trice in black and white. That took a lot of Simba's perm health, and Impressive took a lot of damage as well. So, they needed a wipe, really. I don't know if I would be happy with that damage, because it was good damage, but they needed to wipe them. What did you think of that?
I mean, of course, a wipe would be the dream. That's exactly what Optimistic needs. But, I mean, given that the Witch already sort of handed them a free in cap, I think this is about the best that Optimistic could hope for, honestly.
Definitely. We do see a nice shutdown going out by Pink Slip. We do have Impressive slow and Simba bleeding out, and he's going to be slow during this event. I really don't see them surviving this, but the SI need to capitalize on the fact that they are going to be moving slow because they have to. Maybe even trying to get that kill on Trice if they can. That's going to be a huge detriment to Pink Slip. And we do have this hit up. It is a Spitter Boomer Jockey Charger. Boomer lands that boom! I didn't think that was going to land!
The ultimate arc boom. My goodness.
Spit's just going to go down and do a little bit of a spit block. That's going to leave a Charger and Jockey. The Charger is set up at the bottom, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like he's planning on hitting these guys as soon as they drop. He's going for it. Gets Rochelle. That is their perm health.
That's a lot of damage. Wow. Okay. That was an amazing charge. That's going to put Reflector slow and Simba slow. So they're not going to be able to skip half of this event like they could if they were fast by jumping over. So they have to take the whole horde and probably at least 2 hits, maybe 3 if they get it down.
Yeah, Impressi, I think, not sure what health he's at, but very soon all the survivors are going to be slow, which means that, I mean, making this safe room is going to be just about impossible. Optimistic really needs to wipe here.
We do see a down going out on Rochelle and a hunt going down on Impressive at the bottom. Not a bad hunt. I mean, that hit didn't do an incredible amount of damage, but it got it down, and that's what you're looking for here.
Yeah, every down, you know, wastes their time. This horde is wasting their time and letting Optimistic get more hits in. Pink Slip definitely showing a bit of frustration there. You know, as soon as they landed that crazy arc boom, just as they were about to drop, Pink Slip decided to drop a little bit too soon, and Optimistic was able to capitalize with that charged spit.
Reflector is going to get pulled off, and a Jockey is going to go out on Ellis. He's almost dead. Looks like we do have Coach going down from that boom horde. Spitter is coming up. They're waiting for Rochelle, and I don't think I agree with that. We do have a Charger going out. It's going to kill Ellis.
Yep, this should be an easy cap onto Nick as well.
Yep.
Rochelle is the last pink slip standing, and she is on 1 HP.
She will go down to Horde, so like I thought, they did die at the event, but they got a pretty decent amount of distance for where they were at after that tank. So to even stand a chance, Optimistic Prime has to make it with bonus, first of all, and they probably have to make it with bonus on Finale and wipe with their tanks. So they have a long road ahead of them. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll see if you want to take away this first hit.
Absolutely. We've got a Smoker Boomer double Hunter. We're going to see how Optimistic chooses to take this. But I agree with you. I mean, Optimistic have some miracles to work if they want to stay in this game. But their first opportunity, I think, will be at that Witch to see if they can crown her without getting a crazy incap. Boomer goes in, proxies onto Rochelle. Hunter's landing onto both Nick and Coach. This is not what they wanted.
That was a pretty terrible hit in terms of the SI that they had, but they made it work. They did get like 21 damage on Chi, who is Coach, which really probably shouldn't have happened, but that was a great boom and a great double hunt. And if that's setting the tone for this map for Pink Spliff's SI, I would be very worried if I was Optimistic Prime. We do have this Witch coming up that did down Trice. Hopefully we don't see a repeat, but you never know.
Yeah, the Witch's pathfinding is, of course, just notoriously unpredictable. Hopefully she's not going to take some weird, like, hook shot around the car. But this should be a pretty easy draw. Looks like they're going to draw her from a bigger distance. That would probably be the smart thing to do. They do get the crown, and the SI fails to make any damage. So already Optimistic has one over on Pink Slipped, just in terms of performance of this map.
I am not sure why Simba chose to send that smoker as early as he did, because that's an easy smoke when they go for that draw. But like you said, Optimistic Prime took that Witch well. This is setting the tone for them as well. This could be their comeback map. We do have a hit up of a Hunter Smoker Boomer Charger. It looks like they are going to be sending that, and the tank is going to spawn in the hands of Reflector. We do have a Charger going in, getting melted. Hunter is going to land for a second. We have a Bot Smoker coming in. He's doing his best. Which word did we go to? Survivor Infected?
I believe we're going to go on to the Infected Pink Slip tank in the hands of Reflector.
Hearing Pink Slip for the second time, but if you are, sorry, you'll enjoy it.
Got it.
The dumpster is in play. Nice. Good catch. Nice.
Nice.
Good tank.
Good job.
Yeah, good damage, dude.
Alright, and we are back. Very interesting tank fight. What did you think of that, Beast?
So many things went wrong during that tank for the Infected, and they still got so much damage. I'm genuinely confused. I mean, they landed that hittable at the end on Rochelle. That was very nice. Punted his corner off. Jockey took and got cleared. Oh, good lord. The charge spit is going to go out on Coach. That's going to be a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm perplexed after that tank. I'm not sure how it did so much damage, but that's the last thing Optimistic Prime needed. And I think that almost took them out of the match.
Yeah, I mean, the tank got like almost a corner on Ellis, but that last punch did punch him off the rails down to the second floor. And then, strangely, the jockey decided to, hit that survivor. I think that was a misplay because as that jockey, I mean, that survivor's sort of over and dealt with. He's on the bottom floor. And slow, he wasn't going to be able to help in that tank fight. I would have gone in with that jockey and helped the tank. But then the tank landed that dumpster onto Rochelle despite the pool tables. So overall, some misplays made up by some pretty great plays.
Absolutely, and like you said, like that jockey was the sketchiest play I've seen so far. That charger is going to go in and land on Coach. Actually, that shouldn't have landed. Yeah, I don't think the jockey should have gone and grabbed Ellis because, as we saw, you can shoot through the floor. That's a very easy clear for the survivors, and they capitalized on that. The survivors took every misplay that the infected made and tried to capitalize it on it, good lord, as much as they could. Didn't really work out in their favor. But we do have this next hit up of a Hunter, Jockey, Spitter, Smoker. We do have everything spawned up and going in. Hunter is going to go in, get Skeeted, Spit, misses. Smoke will go out on Nick, and the Jockey's going to take it. Not that much damage, but it took Nick off, so they're not going to be able to go across until at least everybody's back up.
Yeah, and Nick is their only perm health. I mean, Optimistic, they're certainly doing better than where Pink Slip was at this moment in the map. But this is still, not enough bonus that they need, to really make this game anything resembling, a close game.
Trying to check if they have pills in this closet. I don't believe they do. So this is going to be a dangerous situation for our survivors. A nice 2-boom goes out. Nice cover with that Hunter and Jockey. That's a lot of damage and a down on G.
Oh my goodness. This is the opposite of what Optimistic wants. Regardless, there was one set of pills in that first aid box on the wall. They at least have that, so hopefully they can give that to one of their temp survivors. At least give them some speed. My mistake, they had 2 pills in that box. That's I guess some good news for Optimistic, but still, they've only got 1 survivor with about, I think, 40 HP left in perm health.
We do have this next hit going in. Nice hunt goes out on Coach and Spit. That's going to be a down. Ellis gets stumbled and Spit. That's going to be another down. This is disastrous. They were sitting on about 48% damage bonus, which last time I checked was 258. I'm going to check when they get these survivors up, and I don't expect it to be very high at all. Yeah, it's 160. So I think Optimistic Prime might be out of this match.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of what we saw on map 3 when Optimistic was fighting the Pink Slip tank. It seemed like as soon as they slowed down, Pink Slip had a little bit more time to organize their hits, and their hits just get so much more devastating. All that was a Boomer, Hunter, and Spit, and they played that beautifully with the pounce and the stumble.
They've got still a decent trek to the safe room, and Nick just got shot multiple times. That's going to put him slow. She is black and white, 7 HP. I don't expect her to make the safe room. I think they might be able to, but they need a miracle on finale, like 4 full perm survivors to win this. We do have our hit going in. Charger is going to miss. Smoker is going to try to pull the charger, and it's not going to get it, clearly. Hunter and Jockey are going in. Jockey gets cleared. Smoker gets cleared. Hunter lands on Ellis and gets a down.
Very interesting charger. If I were that charger, I may have just gone for scratches rather than bothering to, do the charge. Regardless, Optimistic are still going to slowly but surely continue on to the safe room. Pink Slip has, I think, maybe 1 or 2 hits left to try and wipe these guys.
Very nice pick on that Spitter and Smoker. We do have this charger going in. It's just going to straight up kill Chi. That's what I thought. But just with a Boomer left, that's safe room, but I don't think they have any bonus. I have 63, excuse me.
Yep. Rimra is going to get a bit of bonus. Pink Slip definitely getting a little impatient towards the end. They're trying too hard to wipe, spawning individually and whatnot, but overall, I think that was still a win for Pink Slip, regardless of the lack of a wipe. Well, we are going live, and the first hit for Pink Slip, for Optimistic, is going to be a Boomer, Smoker, Hunter, Charger. They are going to send that Boomer in immediately. Looks like they're sending the Charger in immediately as well. Smoker goes on to Nick. Charger lands on Coach. This Hunter's flying around and manages to land on Ellis. That's, some tidbits of damage.
You never really expect that hit to do much damage unless you land a ridiculous charge spit, and really this game is going to come down to this Kimchi tank. So I think we should go to an infected war room.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Do you want a charger or no?
I want a tri-cap.
So-
Maybe not charger, like
So
Which is
use the
fine if you
charger.
want. Tech boomer?
So use the
Snack
charge.
something?
Are they on the fence or no?
3 of them
Yeah,
are.
they
They're
are.
the ones inside the
Okay.
safe room.
Just need one of
Who's
them.
Simba?
Okay. Just wait.
I'm going in because they're not up there. Ready?
Mm-mm.
Shit, no.
Down that
Get
guy?
it down, get it down.
Behind you,
Go,
behind
go.
you. Up her.
Got him.
Recharging.
Nice, nice. Get the guy down.
Cover me. He's free. He's free.
Rochelle.
He's free.
Behind you. You got it, you got it.
Recharging still.
You got the resmoker.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
A heartbreaking end.
We're back. I mean, Rochelle is the only pink slip left standing. All they have is this spitter to try and prevent this pickup, but she is going to get the pickup onto Ellis, and they're going to slowly start rebuilding their team. Optimistic, they almost made it happen. That is such a heartbreaker.
There was one gigantic misplay that I noticed during that tank, and I would venture to probably say that it lost them the match. Kim played that so well. The SI landed. They did a solid job. Once she downed Ellis, she went to punch him again because nobody called that he was already down, and that allowed Rochelle to just kill her. And I think that might have put the nail in their coffin, so to speak, because they needed to down Rochelle. They needed that wipe. They might be able to still do this, but I think it's over. We do have a hit of a Smoker Charger Boomer Hunter up. Looks like they're setting up pretty far ahead if you would like to take that away.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got Simba's already slowed. Charger's going in. Boomer lands onto Coach. He gets pounced. The Charger's getting some scratches in. Rochelle is also smoked on the other side of the bus. No one covering her. That clear comes a little late. Regardless, the Charger goes in on Nick, misses, and gets cleared. I mean, you know, a decent amount of damage, but, you know, not the sort of multi-charger, you know, wipe hit that Optimistic was looking for.
You know, like you said, it wasn't a wipe hit, but it put all of them slow. Except, looks like a Rimrocka, but he's going to bleed slow in a second, so I wouldn't really complain about that hit. Like, they needed the wipe, but it's something. Looks like we do have another hit going in. Hunter is going to get speeded. Rochelle's going to get pulled back. Smith's going to go in on nothing. Charger never spawned. Rochelle is still pulled, though.
Yeah, these smoker clears are coming pretty late. I mean, Pink Slip, they're you know, they're showing a little bit of weakness, and we do have this Charger. Looks like he's still going to try. Oh, Nick gets incapped. Looks like that Charger's going to go for a multi-charge. Gets mowed down before he makes contact.
There was no reason to go for that. We have a pause. M1 not working. What? Okay, well, regardless, there was no reason to go for that charge. I think that was very much them being impatient. You have death charges coming up. They're all slow. That would be an easy kill. They're arguing in all chat. I'm going to ignore that and pretend that's not happening. What Optimistic Prime needs right now, first of all, is to wipe as soon as possible and to flawlessly kill that tank and make the map. Whether or not that's possible, I don't know, but it's their only hope at this point. We do have a nice 2-boom going in. Looks like that Jockey is going to go in as well. Boomer is going to scratch down Rochelle. Ellis is going to get jockeyed, and he will get ledge hung, and Nick jumped off.
Not sure what happened there. That might have been rage. That looked a little bit purposeful. We've got the infected team is laughing.
Never forget that Left 4 Dead 2 is just full of good sports.
Yep, this game is a salt mine, and like you said, Optimistic, they're going to have to fight this tank and, I mean, just kill it before it manages to make any damage, and then make this map with a hefty bonus if they plan on, you know, still winning this game.
All right, kids, let's do some math. This map is worth 800. They're down 1,200. It's possible to make 1,200 bonus on this. So they need to make at least 400 bonus and have all 4 survivors make the map. And, you know, finales are pretty notorious for being wipe zones. Like, it's pretty difficult to even make a finale, much less with bonus, much less Death Charge Alley. So this is going to be a good fight. I'm really excited to see what Optimistic Prime does with this. I'm rooting for them. I hope they can do this.
Absolutely. If they brought this back, that would be a Cinderella story in the group stage alone of this tournament.
Not sure what that was about with M1 not working. I'm pretty sure they're still trying to figure that out, seeming as Simba is AFK. But there is 2 maps on this, or 2 tanks on this map, correct?
I believe so. 1 float tank and then, you know, the set tank, I think.
Right. So, you really, at this point, you just can't take any damage on that first tank. There is no arguing that. It has to go flawlessly. And with this second tank, which is not necessarily an easy tank, and I'm fairly certain in this config that the cars aren't insta-down, but if they make it to that tank and they turn out to be, I didn't say that. You also have to make sure you kill that tank well, not to mention all the hits in between. So there's so many factors to consider for Optimistic Prime, and they have, like I said, they have to play it flawlessly. We are going to have a Rimraka tank for our first tank. I know that because Trice subbed out, and so the game, for some reason, is going to be forced to give Rimraka a tank. So if he doesn't wipe, it really is going to come down to good SI and that second tank.
Yeah, I mean, Optimistic are going to have to play perfectly, and of course, it's worth mentioning that, I mean, the frustration, I'm sure, is just immeasurable on their side because they very nearly had that wipe. I mean, 1 punch away from getting that wipe, and obviously, as to whose fault it was exactly, if the tank should have been, you know, tabbing after every punch and checking the health of the survivors, or someone on his team should have told him, you know, Ellis is down, switch targets. I mean, it's going to be really hard for them to bounce back, you know, just like morale-wise, not only in terms of play. I mean, they're going to have to, you know, survive the pink-slipped SI, who so far have been pretty devastating, much more effective than they have been so far in this game.
Couldn't tell that by that first hit. Only that boomer landed. Smoker did not go in, and as I predicted, we do have a Rimraka tank. So let's run this on over to an infected war room.
Sure thing.
Okay, going.
Go again.
Boomer, go behind. You gotta climb on top of this stop sign.
Put it down.
Just cover this.
I think. My bad, I was late.
And we are back. I apologize for that small wait. My computer decided that it was going to hate me. Initially, I thought that tank was not going to get anything, and then that support just came in and went beast mode, essentially. And that is going to be all of Cheese Perm health and just sliver left on Beast, with some okay damage on Lucy and Kim as well. You know, Optimistic Prime, they needed to pretty much ace that tank, and they didn't. So I'm worried about them.
Yeah, things are not looking well. They took that first hit, you know, pretty well, which obviously is a difficult hit. We've got a pull onto Rochelle. That clear is going to come a bit late, and she is down. We've got some spit onto Nick to waste their time there. Charger misses Coach, gets a few punches in, but I mean, Optimistic, things are slipping away really quickly.
Definitely. They're down to their last set of pills for a while. I know there's a set pill spawn. Oh, we do have a pull going out on Coach. I wasn't sure if that was going to be an end cap or not. The theme of the finale of Parish so far is that let's just pull Rochelle and then never clear her. And it's happened on both sides, and it's damage that they shouldn't be taking. They are not giving Rochelle pills, and that may be because Lucy is 41 HP, but oh my god, Alice almost died.
That was really close, and Rochelle is stuck behind her team, and there is a smoker just looking for that pole, trying to get it below the truck, but I don't believe that's even possible. She's going to escape, but as you were saying, you know, there seems to be a theme in this map, especially, of smokers getting poles in the back, and their teams taking way too long to clear them. It's important to remember, I mean, this is, you know, a running event, and it's pretty easy to get a little, you know, a bit lost in the action. You tend to forget to check your teammates if they're okay, who's behind you, who's not.
Survivors are doing something really interesting, and that is going underneath this bridge. And that completely threw the SI off, as we saw that Boomer just got popped, that Smoker wasn't ready for it. Looks like they are going to be going in for that hit. Rochelle is going to go down, Charger is just going to get a scratch off on her, and that's going to leave a spitter. That was probably the smartest play that Optimistic Prime has made so far, choosing to go under. It definitely is, and I think that's what this tournament is about. It is all about the teams just learning to play, and that's why this is a mentored tournament, and that's why it was a draft-style tournament. And I think it really is almost the most interesting way to play Left 4 Dead 2. As we've seen, Ojaki is going to go out on Coach, not get much though. A lot of Left 4 Dead 2 has been dominated by your quote-unquote top teams. And having a draft-style tournament where they can't necessarily play together, we have a tank up, and I didn't even realize it. Lucy's going to go down before they can get the pills. That tank spawned so quickly. I'm not even going to send this to a Worm because we don't really have time. The smoke is going to go out on Nick. Rochelle is just going to get punched to death. It's over.
It is worth mentioning that this is a tank in the hands of Impressi, who was raging in chat earlier, so I suppose this is a good opportunity to get some of that aggression out.
And yep, that will be GG, boys and girls, with a score of 2,700 to 1,888. Pink Slip is going to take the win. As I was saying, before that tank rudely interrupted me, a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 is dominated by these top teams, and to have a draft-style tournament where really it's anybody's game is pretty cool. So I'm really excited to see what Optimistic Prime is going to do for the rest of the tournament. Obviously, congratulations to Pink Slip for winning that match, and yeah, do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to cast this match. It's been a pleasure to cast with you, Blake. As always, we'd like you to go onto the MavWar website and vote for your MVP of the match. It's at mavwar.com/vote-MVP. I'd also like to thank Kitty for streaming this match for us. Our regular streamer XFly was unable to do it due to a last-minute scheduling conflict, and so I'd like to thank her for, you know, coming in and really saving the day.
Kitty's pretty cool. Good chick. She pressed F to pay respects, which I don't know if you guys did that in Twitch chat, but if you didn't, you know, you should have done that. It was funny.
Shame on you, absolutely.